Hey, it's March 6th, Friday. Wanted to catch up to speed where we're at with Touch the Water. So Monday, back on March 2nd, I went through the script again, made kind of some last minute changes. And when I was done with that little quick, I think it was 2-hour pass on it, I just had that feeling, or the kind of gut reaction feeling, thoughts like, this is good. It's time to take this script. Now it's time to break it down and get going with it, move on. And so that feeling, that perspective has allowed me for the rest of the week to go through now and start really hammering out the details of that script, breaking it down. So I've spent a lot amount of time on breaking it down, the script here. Really, the breakdown is knowing what all the pieces are to make the movie that you're going to need. So we know all of our actors, our background actors, what locations we need in the script, what special props, what are actors eating, what are those actors going to be eating, or the characters going to be eating in the movie, like all of those things. Sometimes there's lots of gray area. So for instance, Daisy's eating a meal, and we don't talk too much sometimes about it, what she's eating. We just know she's eating something. Sometimes there's, she's having fry bread, she's having Indian tacos, and so okay, we get that. But doing the breakdown, it brings out a lot more questions that we need specifics on. Okay, we see there's a scene, at the senior center with background actors. We know who speaks because we have those people speaking, so we can make sure those characters are there for that scene. But then how many background actors do we want? Do we want 100? Do we want 3? And so going through that, what's nice about directing the film myself and also producing it, one of the benefits, there's other things that aren't benefits with wearing more hat than one or two, is that I can make those decisions. I don't have to send an email to the director or give them a call or a text and then wait whether they respond right away or maybe they respond the next day. I can keep going with my work because then I can answer myself, okay, here's the scene. Visualize really how many extras do we want in this scene. First, what's best for the story? Okay, 20 would be perfect for this scene. That's what my vision is. That's what I want. And the next step is putting on the producer hat and saying, wait, 20 extras there, that's going to be a lot. What if we went with 10 extras, or could we get away with 8? And so then it's those conversations are going on in my head, but I'm able to right away make a decision and move forward with it. And so it did. It took me most of the week to do that breakdown. And there's still a couple of questions I don't have. We have some Christmas scenes and stuff happening, and I've got to figure out, okay, Christmas decorations, are those Christmas decorations, when do they go up on that house? When do they come down? And then kind of figure out the scenes, as we're doing that. So still a few unanswered questions. I need to spend another probably 2 or 3 hours going through it. And then I haven't done a pass yet on wardrobe. I mean, there's specific things the script calls for with the wardrobe that we're gonna need. There's a special handkerchief. There's like a special, someone has a jacket with them. Some of those things we put into the breakdown so we know. But then like there's 30 plus days, script days in the film that happen. And so each one of those days, whether the person has a brand new wardrobe, I don't have enough for go 30 days with wearing a brand new wardrobe. So, okay, do we do it a couple of weeks and then we rotate, and a couple weeks later in the film, we see her in similar clothes we saw in the beginning. I don't know if that, that's just a decision. That decision hasn't been made. But everything else that I've pulled out of the script and put into, I use Movie Magic scheduling. All of that is there now, and now it's taking that. The next step is now we can get a really detailed budget of what the film is going to cost, or in our case, here's one financial partner that's come on board with this little amount of money, and now how am I going to use that little amount of money to put that strategically to fit all those needs that we have. And then what needs do I need to go out and either lose, or where do we get a cheaper version or whatever. But right now it's going through and just putting real costs, real expenses of what the movie will cost into that breakdown. And then I know specifically, okay, we need I need another X amount of dollars to make this film, to have it. And so I've kind of been doing some of it backwards, like, we're going to make this movie happen. We don't have the money yet. We don't even know what the full budget is. And I know before it's like, okay, we'll get this much money and somehow we'll make it work. The real way to do that, I'm trying to get accustomed to and do it, is I should have already have done the breakdown and had these specifics. And then, okay, this is the amount of money we need, and then moving forward. And so I've always done things backwards with film production to make it happen. And so this time trying to, in this film, streamline it, but at the same time, like, there's things that need to happen in the right order. And so I haven't updated you any this week, just because I've been really focused in getting this film to happen. So hopefully this is a good update. That's where I'm at. We extended our casting call, so now we're going until we have another week and a half till the 14th of March. Still looking for actors. Now it's a process. We know all the pieces that we need. Now we have to price them, or we start or how to get those resources, whether it's from actors to the notebook that Daisy uses, that she writes in her journal at night. Like, all of those things, now this is our pile of stuff that we have to go find on paper. It's on paper, now we have to go find it. And so that's where the work comes. And so I'm really feeling the burden, honestly feeling the burden of what the weight to make this movie. Like, is it me? Am I going to have to go through all the Goodwill stores and the Deseret Industry stores and those looking for certain props? Do I need to actually do the beadwork on her cane that she has? I might choose to do that one, just because that's kind of the weight of the world. Instead of have a whole art department where you hand them this list of I don't know what it is, but let's say 300 items and specific needs, that they take that and they have their buyers. I mean, you look at long end credits in a movie, the art department, there's like shoppers, there's buyers. Like, those departments are big for a reason, because there's so much work. And right now it's all on me. I know my wife will come in and help a little bit with maybe helping me price stuff, so we can know, okay, we get 3 journals and these are the prices on it. So have some real specific numbers. So I'm feeling the burn of it and the excitement of it as well. So yeah, so as of Monday, I greenlit the production. Now we're going forward. We've entered pre-production. Monday, as soon as I told myself those words, we switched from development, just like that, in a statement, in a sense, to we're now in pre-production. So pre-production is full speed ahead. Right now we're looking to shoot the end of April. I may push it back even just to give us a little bit more room and start shooting in May, a little bit more room to just really get things finalized, because being so small, not a lot of funding means I have to do more, if not majority of it. And so if we have another week, then that allows us, okay, we don't have the money, but I have the time, which is still not making any money to provide for my family. So there's that catch too. But now I can go and spend a little bit more time. And maybe there's locations that we find that I and my wife and I get my kids, or maybe some, people can come and help, that we kind of decorate and do some of that stuff before we start shooting. So all of those things are running through my mind right now as the producer of the film. Right now, I feel like now's the point, once we hit the breakdown, that the producer steps in. Like, that's where my mentality is, that the producer steps in and takes over. He's like, okay, this is the script that's been approved. This is what we've got to do. And now it's time for the producing magic to happen, to go out and bring all those elements, all those resources together to make this film. And you can make them so, okay, we can get 2 extras, so we make that lowest quality possible film we can, or the highest that we can. And they're like, well, I know if we got that, all right, if I can go out and raise another $5,000, we can take it to another little level, or whatever that number is that we can get. Now I can bring in somebody really, it's not me as art department as well. I can bring in one person to do art department, and that just raises the quality of the film that much. So that's my world right now. I think you may feel how intense it is. I'm feeling, even just talking about it, like there's 24 hours a day, like something could be done. Now is when my mind just starts running and driving down the roads, looking for locations, playing all those different positions. Now it's the time I have 73 hats that I'm wearing. I don't know what you call that, but other than a mess. So exciting. This is kind of where I feel like I've kind of I get into my realm of producing, and how do you make a production happen without having the resources or the financing you need to make it happen. And so that's kind of, I guess, one of the maybe more stronger talents that I have, is somehow making it happen without all the necessary resources. Here we go. This is hard, and I'm definitely feeling the burn. Thanks for following. Keep following the journey. We're going to make this happen.